Hey there fans of Comic Land, this is Leila here from the Comic Connection with this week's comic book reviews. First up, we've got Uncanny X-Men number 516, written by Matt Fraction with art by Greg Land. And in this one, Magneto returns to Utopia to address Scott and the rest of the X-Men, and meanwhile forces are afoot to attack Utopia under the directive to save mutant kind. That seems kind of weird. It was an interesting beginning. Magneto is surely never to be trusted, so you know that there's going to be a little twist on everything that's going on right here. So I'm waiting with bated breath to see where this is going to be going. This whole Nation X thing might be really good for the X-Men because the last sort of story wasn't too interesting for me. So this is a good jumping on point for X-Men fans if you want to pick up a new X-Men storyline. Next up, we've got Web of Spider-Man number 1. This is by various writers and artists because it features 3 stories. The one most interesting to me was called Kane in Echoes. And this is about Kane teetering on the verge of death, and he's visited by echoes from his past. But is it really the end for Kane, or is it just the beginning? This was not bad. Overall, the book was pretty solid. The art was, okay. They're sort of pitching this book as a warm-up to Amazing Spider-Man, so they'll have like stories about characters that are going to appear in Amazing Spider-Man featured in Web of Spider-Man, so you can get a bit of their backstory. So then I guess that means since Amazing Spider-Man is 3 times a month, and then we have another book, that's Spider-Man 4 times a month. So I don't know if I'm so down for that. Couldn't they just do the backstory for these characters in Amazing Spider-Man and fully flesh them out? So I don't know if that's all Web of Spider-Man is going to be. Certainly the first issue was interesting, because Kane is interesting, and there was a story about Mayday Parker that was pretty cool. That wasn't too bad. The Fabulous Frogman one was just whatever, it's Frogman. So it's not too bad. I'm going to have to see how this goes in further issues to see if there's going to be a series to keep going on with in the long term. And last but not least, we've got Deadpool number 900. Now, you may wonder, how come we're all of a sudden up to number 900? Did they pick this number out of the air? Possibly Deadpool's been in 900 other comic books? I don't know. But let's just say we're going to start with number 900, and this book is going to lead into a new monthly series called Deadpool Team Up, in which there'll be a different character teamed up with Deadpool, and they're going to start counting backwards, I guess, because the first one's number 899. So that's what this book is sort of a lead into that. So in this supersized issue, there's 8 stories with lots of Deadpool for Deadpool fans, and some of them are good and some of them are not so good. I particularly like the first story, which is Close Encounters of the Kind, written by Jason Aaron with art by Chris Staggs. And in this one, aliens abduct Deadpool and try to probe him with sort of disastrous results. It was really funny. It was Deadpool. So if you like Deadpool, you're not going to be disappointed by this book, even with its $4.99 price tag. I'm looking forward to seeing the new Team Up series, but do we need a 3rd monthly series for Deadpool? I mean, aren't you in a little bit of overload on Deadpool here? I certainly am, but we'll see how it goes.
Hey folks, Jim here with this week's comic book reviews. First up, Ninja High School number 174 with story by Robbie Bevard and art by Ben Dunn. And in this one, with Udai now dead and his magic stabilizer now freed, his stronghold and the world around Quagmire start to come apart, and Ricky has to face the Elder Stars. As you all know, NHS ends in only 1 more issue, so this is a really good penultimate issue, really good story, really good art. I'm really liking where NHS is going, but I'm going to be sad to see it go for at least the next year or so. Next up, Incarnate number 2, written and drawn by Nick Simmons and Nam Kim. And in this one, captured by Sybil, Mott and Connor are enslaved and forced to become her bodyguards. Seeing this, the Revenant Council concludes that Mott has betrayed them and must be eliminated. But can Mott defeat them and Anubis, the Egyptian god of death? And how many characters can Nick Simmons rip off again? This is just another horror show of copyright infringement, and I mean that quite literally. It's like, looking at this book, I recognize so many characters from so many series, it's hard to count. And the fact that he's getting away with it, I just don't understand it at all. It's horrible. The writing is okay, but everything else just makes this series make me go, why? And last but not least, Transformers, All Hail Megatron, number 16. Written by Mike Costa and Xander Cannon, with art by Guido Guidi and Chi. And in this one, Spike has survived the war, but can he survive Ravage long enough to get another mission? And in the second story, Bumblebee goes it alone, but soon must face a new enemy, humans. Now, I really like the fact that this is the final issue of Hail Megatron, so I don't have to buy the books anymore, which is always nice. I can save $4 a month. But the story by Guido Guidi was fantastic. The story by Chi, not so much. The art's terrible. Painting art generally is come or go, good or bad, but this art is just terrible. It's Ashley Wood bad, and I might get a lot of flack for saying that, but I've never liked Ashley Wood's art either. So I can't readily recommend this book other than for the Guido Guidi story, and that's about it.